Hello, boys and girls, and welcome back. Today's lesson is a little difficult, but I don't want you to get discouraged. We're going to take it very slowly. The first thing that you should have watched is our metric measurement of length video. That was our number rock. So the first thing we're going to do is talk about, and actually I can take my mask off because there's no one in here this time. Let me do that. All right. We're going to talk about the different measurements of length in the metric system. So here in my hands, I have a meter stick. My meter stick is 1 meter long. And boys and girls, for you guys at home, if you put your arms out like this, it's about as long from one fingertip to the other fingertip. Uh-oh, my meter stick fell down. Let me grab that. And then boys and girls, if you look really closely at my meter stick, I wish you could see it in real life. I have little bitty numbers. Do you know what each and one of these itty bitty numbers represents? If you said millimeter, you are incorrect. On my meter stick, each number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is actually a centimeter. But then there's itty bitty marks in between my centimeter. Those are my millimeters. Well, actually, there should be 10 little marks in between is going to be my millimeter. And boys and girls, if you have a ruler at home, you'll be able to see that on the metric side, the side that has the centimeters. There should be 10 little marks in between each centimeter. And those are your millimeters. So the cool thing about the metric system is that it's all base 10. So we just went from learning powers of 10. Uh-oh, announcement.
Miss R. Taylor, Miss Lowe, and Miss McCommon, I've placed some lunch cards in your box, so please don't forget to get them tomorrow morning. Lowe, R. Taylor, and Miss McCommon.
Does that make y'all miss school? You miss hearing the beep, beep, beep announcements? It's kind of like bringing back memories, huh? All right, back to our lesson. So, got to remember what I was saying, Lord. All right, the millimeter is about the thickness of a dime. And that's what the song said, just to give you an idea. So let's see. I'm not going to play the whole song. I know it's saying powers of 10. Okay, so a centimeter would be the same as if you had 10 millimeters. So like I told you on the ruler, if you had 1 centimeter, 2 centimeters, and I'm going to write cm for centimeter, you would have 10 millimeters. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, I guess not, that's 10. Each one of these little marks would be a millimeter. But then how many centimeters are going to equal a decimeter? Which you've probably never heard of a decimeter because nobody really uses that in real life. Maybe real scientists, though. So let's see. How big is a decimeter?
It's about a centimeter wide. A fingernail on a girl or guy is a centimeter. It's a meter. 1,000 meters.
Skipped it.
That's a kilometer. It's the same footprint as the length of a guitar.
Okay. All right, well, I lied. Apparently it skipped decimeter. But just to let you know, if you have you know what? We're going to skip that too. All right. So if you have 100 centimeters, then you're going to have 1 meter. Now notice that I said 10 millimeters equals a centimeter. 100 centimeters equals a meter. How is that related to powers of 10? It almost sounds like powers of 10. Times 10 would be the same as 10 to the first. Times 100 is the same as 10 to the second. All right, so hold that thought. This is going to get a little more tricky. right, for today's notes, I need you to write King Henry died by drinking chocolate. How do you spell chocolate? O-R-A. There we go. Chocolate milk. Does anybody remember what this is? I know I had some students in my class that said, oh, I remember this from last year. But then I also had some students that didn't remember because, we didn't get to quite finish the year. This lesson, this is called a mnemonic device, which means it's a little saying that's going to help you remember something that's kind of hard. What this is going to help us remember is going to be our metric conversions. Okay, stay with me. This lesson's a little long. So far you kind of learned what a millimeter is, what a centimeter is, what a meter is, or how about a kilometer? In the song, a kilometer is like 1,000 meters. And if you remember where Horn Lake Intermediate School is, I actually measured it one time. It's about the distance from the school to Kroger. It's about 1 kilometer. It's kind of like miles, kind of like we use miles, but it's the metric version. But don't get me started on the difference because that's a whole nother story. All right. For our metric conversions, you are going to make a tool. I'm going to put our steps over here. This is what I need you to do every time you're given a metric conversion problem. Whether it's millimeters, meters is your base, grams, liters. It doesn't matter. This is the tool that you're going to need. Here's your steps. Step 1, draw your tool. I am going to be looking for your tool every time you have a conversion problem. And let me make sure I'm still on the camera here. Yes, I am, barely. Draw your tool. Are you ready to see what your tool looks like? Please make it the way I'm making it because there's a reason for it. King Henry died. Notice these are capital. There's a reason those are capital, boys and girls. My drinking chocolate milk. You are going to need this tool every time we do conversions. Trust me. I have taught this for several years, and this allows students to become very successful at conversions. What do you think the K stands for? Now, those of you that did watch the King Henry video, you kind of already know the answer to that. Some of you did, some of you may have not, depending on who your teacher is. But going off of the Number Rock video, K stands for, did you say kilo? If you said kilo, you are correct. These are called prefixes. Okay, notice I did not write kilometer. I just want to write the prefix kilo. Does anybody know what the H stands for? Did you say hecta? Correct. D is deca. Is that spelled with a K? I don't think it is. Still looks funny. I'll have to Google that one. Then you have B for base. B for base is going to be, you can go ahead and write base. That is your base. What was it? Okay, let me see. Oh, it's okay. Okay, I found the answer, boys and girls. Our capital D is spelled deca. Our lowercase d, deci. Now you should be most familiar with centimeters, and then milli. And make sure you write M-I-L-L-I for milli. We don't want to get milli confused with our base. Because our base, underneath or beside the base, I want you to write, our base can be a meter, or our base can be a gram, or our base can be a liter. What do those measure? Well, according to the video, the meter measures length, and please get this in your notebook. I know it looks hard or difficult, but we are going to be using this for a couple days. Grams, if you remember from science, with our balance beam scale, grams measure mass. And then liter, if you've ever drinking a 2 liter of soda, because I know I love me some soda, it measures what we call capacity. But for science purposes, you need to know that that means the volume of liquid. Kind of like our graduated cylinders. Okay? All right. So far we have learned that this is the metric system. Kilo, hecta, deca, base, deci, centi, milli. We've learned that our base could be meter, gram, or liter. We've learned our mnemonic device to help us draw our tool. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. And so now, step 2, we need to use the tool. Alright, so I'm going to stop this video. This video is part 1 of just on how to draw the tool and introducing ourselves to our metric system. The second video that you are going to click on is going to be how to use the tool when solving conversions. Okay, I'll see you in a minute.